News 25 is brought to you by Golden Casino Group, where you'll always find great fun, good food, and fantastic entertainment, all at Gold Town, Lakeside, and the Pahrump Nugget. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
The Sheriff's Office has released dramatic video of deputies trying to save a man's life. And county commissioners discuss a proclamation supporting President Trump. News 25 starts now.
This is News 25 with Eunette Gentry. News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Body and dashcam video shows the moments after a fiery crash in Pahrump. It's Thursday, February 20th. I'm Eunette Gentry. The Nye County Sheriff's Office is releasing some dramatic body and dashcam video showing the heroic efforts of deputies to try to save a man's life. Brad Francis has more.
On the night of February 11th, the Nye County Sheriff's Office responded to a report of a vehicle accident where the car had struck the Healthcare Partners Urgent Care building on Loop Road in Pahrump. When deputies arrived, the car was on fire and deputies located a male driver who was unconscious.
26, one trapped inside. Hey, bud! Not conscious. Hey, bud. Hey, help me. Hey, dude, his ankle's bad.
Deputy Xavier Gideon removed the unconscious man moments before the fire expanded, engulfing the vehicle. The driver was transported to Desert View Hospital and later flown to UMC. In spite of the heroic efforts of deputies, the driver was subsequently pronounced dead at UMC. Because his death occurred in Las Vegas, it's being investigated by the Clark County Coroner's Office.
I commend the swift, decisive, and heroic actions of Deputy Xavier Gideon as he attempted to save this man's life.
And the Nevada Highway Patrol has released the booking photo of Sierra Brower, who was arrested by Nevada Highway Patrol on January 17th on suspicion of driving under the influence, resulting in death in connection to a wrong-way fatal crash at the airport connector and I-215. Brower's preliminary hearing has been scheduled for March 2nd. And a Pahrump man was arrested after a fight with his roommate that took a turn for the worse.
Bobby Stewart is under arrest and facing charges of battery with a deadly weapon and tampering with a vehicle causing damage of at least $250. Nye County deputies were called to a reported fight at a home in Pahrump on the evening of February 17th. While en route, they were advised that Stewart had struck a roommate with a hammer. Upon arrival, officers found the roommate on top of Stewart. The roommate was bleeding from his head in several locations. According to the arrest report, Stewart's wife told officers she and the roommate arrived home at the same time. She told the roommate that her husband had probably been drinking. She says Stewart and the roommate got into a fist fight inside, and she told officers that her husband then grabbed two hammers, saying he was going to hurt the roommate. Police say Stewart's wife went on to describe how her husband had broken out a window on the roommate's SUV before attacking the roommate with a hammer. The roommate was able to grab the hammer and remained on top of Stewart until police arrived. After being read his rights, officers say Stewart told them his wife was cheating with the roommate. Stewart was arrested and taken to jail. The roommate was taken to the hospital where he received 7 stitches on his head. For News 25, I'm Brad Francis.
And don't grab that remote. Stay tuned right here to KPVM, where we are Pahrump's and now Las Vegas's #1 news source.
You're watching KPVM News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back. Well, the producer price index took a big jump in January. Angela Miles tells us what that means in today's financial news.
Here's Angela Miles with today's Business First Brief.
Tapping our news, the strength of the economy and the coronavirus outbreak are on the minds of officials at the Federal Reserve. According to the Fed minutes released this week, some threats to the U.S. economy have faded since December. However, there are a number of downside risks that remain prominent. One is the coronavirus, which poses a new risk to economic growth worldwide. Fed officials also say they intend to keep the key rates around 1.5% to 1.75%. The Producer Price Index, better known as PPI, rose the most in a year. PPI measures the cost of services from healthcare to hotel stays. That index jumped 0.5% during January. The Fed closely watches producer prices for signs of inflation.
To find out where you can see us every day, go to businessfirstam.com.
Thanks so much, Angela. And more local news, Nye County Commissioner Leo Blendo introduced a resolution at Wednesday's Board of County Commissioners meeting recognizing President Trump's accomplishments while in office. During public comment, however, 3 of 4 people said they disagree with that resolution, and Commissioners Lowinder Wickman and Donna Cox abstained from voting on it.
I have a resolution here. I think the President has made many accomplishments, and I appreciate and I know Nye County being Trump country, we support many of the policies. They've had a lot of beneficial effects here, and I would make a motion to adopt Resolution 2020-06, a resolution recognizing President Trump's accomplishments while in office.
I've read the posted version of this resolution, and I have issues with several of the things. The vast majority of jobs created under this administration are low wage, which do nothing to lift employees out of poverty. One of the major reasons for the low unemployment numbers is that people are working multiple jobs because one is not enough to support themselves. These facts do not reflect a robust economy, but rather a depressed economic forecast for millions of underemployed workers. In addition, Trump's claims of substantial income increases for households are based on inflated numbers, which are not borne out by facts.
It is my understanding that the BOCC is a nonpartisan group. Why would we be taking a partisan position on this? Thank you.
Thank you.
I didn't know I was.
Anyone else?
It seems that it's inappropriate for this board to rubber stamp a resolution which serves no concrete purpose for this county other than to gratify the ego of a president whose rhetoric is steeped in divisive language, or to pander to a segment of the population who support the politics of party over the best interest of the community at large. Considering Commissioner Blendo's ongoing campaign for federal office, this resolution seems like nothing more than a supporters, than a blatant attempt to use this board to curry favor with potential supporters of his bid for higher office, and has no place on the agenda of a community council.
By doing such a resolution by this board, you are disassociating yourself with the independents, the libertarians, and everybody else who may disagree with you. I was elected to do the business of the county, the business for the people in Nye County. This is not part of the business of the county commissioners, in my opinion. And for that reason, and only that reason, even though I agree with much of what's in here, I'm going to abstain from voting because it's not what I was voted into office to do.
Call for the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. 4, 1 abstention. Oh.
I didn't vote because I'm torn. I love President Trump and I agree with a lot of what he's doing, but I do have to represent Republicans, Democrats, whatever alike.
So is that an abstention or no?
I think I'll just do what Lorena did and abstain, and you guys work it out.
So 3 yeas to an abstention.
And News 25 will be right back after this break.
This segment of the news is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyers, Nye County's injury attorneys. Don't get bullied by insurance companies. Call Jason Ernest and bully them back at 775-727-9500.
Welcome back. Well, if you don't already know, today is National Love Your Pet Day, but it can be tough for many of you to cuddle up to your furry friends if you can't stop sneezing. According to Dr. Michael Benninger of Cleveland Clinic, when it comes to pet allergies, dander is likely to blame.
People are allergic to animal dander. The other thing is that animals pick up dust mites. And so dust mites may be part of the whole picture, particularly if they're, but mostly it's a dander issue.
Luckily, there's a way to drill down to what's making you miserable. Dr. Benninger says with traditional skin allergy testing, most people who test positive for cat will also test positive for dog, but they may only be allergic to one of them. He says advances in allergy testing are making it possible for doctors to tell exactly which type of animal is causing your allergic reaction. Component testing is a type of blood test that can help identify specific proteins in animals. Dr. Benninger says there are very specific proteins unique to cats and proteins unique to dogs. By learning which protein you react to, you may realize you can have that beloved cat or dog after all. Even if you're diagnosed with a dog allergy, he says it's possible you may only be allergic to male dogs.
40% of dog allergic patients are only allergic to one of those components, only one of those proteins. It happens to be a prostate protein. So it's only in male dogs. And so what happens is that if you're one of those people who you only are allergic to that one component, then you can get a female dog.
Dr. Benninger says component testing isn't just for animal allergies. Many people use it to detect the severity of their peanut allergy as well. He says if you undergo a traditional skin test or blood test and it comes back positive for an allergy, it might be worth undergoing component testing to further determine what's causing the allergy and the best course of treatment.
And is your real ID in your wallet? If you haven't gotten it yet, time is running out. Here's Laura Don with more on how to get that required documentation completed before this fall's deadline.
The DMV warns Nevadans to get their real ID before the October 1st deadline. Town halls are being held at various locations at DMV offices across the state on Wednesday, February 26th. This is to help residents learn about Real ID requirements for travelers that will go into effect this fall. Starting October 1st, 2020, a Real ID compliant driver's license or another type of acceptable identification, such as a passport, will be necessary to board domestic airline flights. Real IDs are already required to enter secure federal facilities. The DMV town halls begin at 5 p.m. in the Carson City and Elko DMV offices. Sessions begin at 6 p.m. at the Reno office and at the West Flamingo office in Las Vegas. Residents can bring their Real ID documentation to the town hall for review. Those who have everything they need will be given a boarding pass to expedite service when they are ready to apply. The DMV has also set up a special website, GetRealNevada.com, to help residents prepare an individualized list of specific documentation they need for a Real ID. If your license has the gold star, you already have a Real ID and you're good to go. If not, visit GetRealNevada.com to find out exactly what documentations you need and bring them to a town hall or to another DMV office for review. A report issue shows that fatal work injuries totaled 39 in 2018 for Nevada, an increase of 7 from the previous year. Transportation incidents accounted for most fatal work injuries with 11. Among industries, construction, transportation, and warehousing had the highest number of fatalities in Nevada with 7 each. Men accounted for 82% of those work-related fatalities in the state. The U.S. Small Business Administration makes the American dream of business ownership a reality. As the only go-to resource and voice for small businesses backed by the strength of the federal government, the SBA empowers entrepreneurs and small business owners with the resources and support they need to start, grow, or expand their businesses, even recover from a declared disaster. To learn more, visit sba.gov. A U.S. Department of Agriculture has announced that they are accepting applications for grants to help increase access to education, training, and healthcare resources in rural communities. There are $71.7 million in grants available under the Distance Learning and Telemedicine Grant Program. This program helps rural communities use telecommunication-based audio and video equipment to connect teachers, students, medical providers, and rural residents with each other and the world. Applicants in rural areas of 20,000 people or less who provide education or healthcare services through telecommunications facilities are eligible to apply. For more information, visit grants.gov. I'm Laura Dawn, and this is your News Across Nevada.
Thanks, Laura. So it's time for you to buy a new computer. But what brand should you buy? Josh Osborne is offering you some help in today's Great Computer Deals Tech Tip.
Hi, it's Josh with Pahrump Zone Great Computer Deals. Let's get right into it. It's time for another quick tutorial. What brand of computer do I buy? It's not about the brand, it's about the model, guys. Just because there's a Dell or HP logo on a computer doesn't make it good. All brands have high-end and low-end models. For example, a brand new $300 laptop from a department store will be a great price, but it's gonna have low-end parts and a really short lifespan. A good used corporate grade model for say $500 will give you a great machine with high-end parts that will last 5 to 7 years easy. Spend say $1,200 on a brand new high-end unit, you're gonna get an awesome computer. At the end of the day, you get what you pay for. Why trust a technician when you can trust a friend? Great Computer Deals is located at 1190 East Highway 372. Call us at 775-990-8833.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
All right, it's time to take a look outside at what conditions were like earlier today through our Lerner and Rowe weather cam. And we have our weather bug hovering over schools from Pahrump Valley High School to Sierra Vista High School and Bob Miller Middle School. And take a look at that beautiful day over the valley. We'll take a closer look at our forecast right after this break.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
All right, let's take a look at our weather highs and lows across the Silver State today. Las Vegas is high 67 with a low of 44. Death Valley tops out at 77, then drops to 48 overnight. Amargosa is high 67 with a low of 36. Beatty's high 64, then drops 30 degrees to 34 overnight. Goldfield's high 55 with a low of 23. Tonopah's high 53, then drops 30 degrees to 23 overnight. Carson City's high 55, then drops 30 to 25 overnight. Fallon's high 55 with a blustery 20 degrees for the overnight low. And Fernley's high 54 with a low of 25. And it's currently 62 degrees and sunny here in Pahrump. Our wind will be coming out of the southwest for the rest of the evening at 4 miles per hour. Humidity is low at 14%. Sunrise was at 6:25 a.m. And tonight will be clear with a low of 39. Winds will come out of the east at 4 miles per hour. Humidity increases to 30%. Sunset was at 5:30 p.m. And looking ahead to our 7-day forecast, The sun will be out tomorrow, but the clouds roll in on Saturday with a 90% chance of rain. But the sun comes back out for the latter half of our weekend and for the beginning through the mid of our work week. And the winds will kick back up on Monday after that storm blows through at 11 miles per hour out of the north-northwest. Friday's high 70, and then those temperatures drop 20 degrees after that rain blows through, and the high will be only 50 on Saturday. But when the sun comes back out, the high increases a bit to 65 and will hover in the high 60s to mid 60 range through the midweek until that temperature increases to a high of 70 on Thursday. Looking at our lows, 46 for the low tomorrow night, and we'll hover in the low 40s until Tuesday, when our low drops down to 36, then creeps back up to 37 and to 40 on Thursday. Well, that does it for this edition of News 25. I'm Eunette Gentry, and from all of us here at KPVM and Ace Country Radio, thanks so much for joining us tonight, and we will see you again tomorrow. Good night.